The Edo State Government says it is considering going after the assets and properties of persons behind the wanton trafficking of Edo indigenes. Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo, in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria in Abuja, said proceeds from such properties will be plowed into rehabilitating and reintegrating returnees. The governor, who was among guests at an event held in the British High Commission in Abuja, however, said that the state had been hindered by delays in prosecution.
We have been able to intensify investigations and prosecution. Unfortunately, we've not been able to get any conviction, not because the prosecutors are not doing their utmost best, but because of the very nature of our legal system. We're working very hard with the high courts. We're also going to be working hard with NAPTIP to ensure that we get convictions so that it can serve as a deterrent and also punish the victims and ensuring that they lose property and lose assets with which we will now use in supporting the rehabilitation of victims. Work with the judicial system to try and reduce the long adjournments and also in the way they treat evidence for victims. Many of these victims are, not too, are scared, afraid of revealing information on the traffickers because of threats. But we are taking steps to provide safe houses for them and to provide cover for them until we are able to get prosecution.
The governor disclosed that in the last 4 years under his watch, the number of persons trafficked from the state had reduced with rehabilitation and reintegration of over 6,500 returnees.
We treated over 6,500 victims of trafficking and irregular migration, working with partners like the IOM and others. We have also used the opportunity to extract a lot of data to understand the nature and scope of this whole trafficking network and the trafficking crisis. And with that information, we now understand what drives people, or what's driven most of them into being trafficked, the areas they come from, their social situations, their economic situations, and that's helped us put strategy in place to combat trafficking in Edo State. And you will see from records available that the incidence of trafficking and irregular migration from Edo State over the last 3 years has dropped dramatically.
In a passionate message to the people of Edo State and other Nigerians, the governor advised them to shun irregular migration and search for greener pastures.
There's nowhere better than home. No matter how difficult and challenging the situation at home may seem, but just realize that it will not be easier. Life will not be simpler on the other side. It always looks greener on the other side of the fence until you get there. Sometimes you may never get there. So my advice is, difficult as it may seem, please, let's make home home.